So the other day, a great client and friend of mine asked, Will, how can I bring back that childhood vitality and love for life? And this is something I'm really passionate about because, frankly, the world that you live in today and you grow up through and evolve into purposely programs that out of you. The schools we go to that look like jails, um, what you watch in terms of TV and what people say to you, all of these things are more or less intentionally or unintentionally remove the childlike wonder and things like imagination and that point of vitality from life. And if you're not intentionally and purposefully connecting to that, that's distancing it even further away from your life. And then, right, years later, you're like, why do I feel this way? Because that has left you and you've let it leave, frankly. So that's where we bring in things like intention and programming, why those are important to realize what's been done to you or what you've been led to think and believe and feel. And so it's really interesting how this, whether you're a Christian or spiritual or whatever or not, an interesting point is just how many times it appears in spiritual doctrine, including the Bible, where one should be like a child in terms of imagination and belief and faith. And that is actually described more as a superpower. Even mentors of mine, shout out to Melissa Riva Tez, where I would recommend you listen and check out all of her things. Like that's one of the first lessons she really passed on through listening to her and everything there was the fact that she, this incredible businesswoman and really, really intelligent lady, was focusing so much on thinking and behaving and feeling like a child full of joy and wonder was important. And so obviously the question comes from a sense of importance and need, but I just want to emphasize the true importance overall for it. And so really, when you have a question of like, okay, things used to feel this way, they don't now, one of the first steps to do is to go back and to revisit, okay, what did I really enjoy as a child? What are the clear differences between then and now? And so a great exercise to do that is to sit down, pull out a journal, and literally write out, okay, what all did I love as a child? And the secret sauce here is not only is this helpful for renewing that sense of vitality with yourself, but also this is deeply, deeply helpful for personal clarity as well. And to give you an example from my life is on the route of clarity, I was doing the same thing. And something interesting about me is, and it's cool that it's become popular again, I guess, is I loved Legos. But specifically within the Lego format, I wasn't as much like, okay, let me build this structure or do this kind of thing. One of the most interesting points for me was when I would look through the Lego magazines that they used to send you, or I would go on the Lego website, I would actually pick like, oh, I want this set, or I want these, based on the minifigures, the little people that they came with, right? From Star Wars, from Medieval Knights, from Pirates, from all these different, whatever, Lego themes I think they were called. Because when I was actually like playing with the Legos, what I would do is I would want to bring those worlds and all those cool elements from different spectrums together. And then when you look at my life today, my best friends are from all around the world. I'm from Ohio. I mean, one of my friends lives an hour and a half away, but then I also have friends all the way across the pond in the UK. Some of my great friends are in Bali. They're doing all sorts of different things. I have adventurers, business people, musicians, creators, all these kind of things. And I've done the same thing today with my life, and that leads to deep fulfillment, right? And so that was a point of clarity too, as in, Will, this has literally been either a gift or shall we call it like a base level program, going back to that child enjoyment. And so in the same way, not that this is just for clarity, right? Getting back to that point of vitality and love for life, the mission here is to revisit all of these things that you loved doing as a child and may have left in the past, right? So write out and journal all these things, right? If it's Legos or spending time outside or playing tennis, racquetball, ping pong, pool, even video games sometimes are appropriate, right? to just renew this sense. For me, I grew up, I had to learn how to play an instrument from second grade. And so I grew up playing the violin. And not only is that something that I enjoy as an expression of art, but it also helps me reconnect to that learning phase and getting excited about learning new things and back to that sense of, oh, this is cool, this is lighthearted, and doing all that kind of stuff. You know, talking with your parents is another great thing. But really sit down and journal out and realize, okay, what were the things that I loved doing the most or spent the most time on? And really a helpful step here too is to ask your parents, ask your friends, and ask those who just knew you as a child. Because frankly, right, you may not remember what you loved doing from 5 years old, and that can perhaps be where the keys are to renew that sense of life and even find that extra clarity that we just mentioned. And so once you've done that, right, the obvious next step is to bring those things back into play and to start implementing them as more or less habits. You know, I'm not telling you if, for example, the video game thing is something for you that would really light you up. I'm not telling you to play video games 24/7. But you can supplement that in. Instead of going out on your regular dinner, watching a TV show, that's just like, okay, this is a time filler activity for me, right? Or you just feel like you're going through the motions of this is what people are supposed to do, going to a cafe or going to just a friend's dinner where it's frankly not lighting you up in that way and making you reconnect to that sense of vitality. Replace that with whatever it is. Go buy a Lego set. I used to love Nerf guns, right? Go buy a Nerf gun. Do that. Go to a museum. Go to rewatch a movie that lit you up from your childhood, right? Watch an animated show. Watch a kid's movie. Go pull up Disney Plus, right? Whatever those things that'll reconnect you, re-engage those in your life and feel that sense of vitality connect. And frankly, get those you love and those you're friends with involved in it too, right? Even do that with those, and that way then not only are you reconnecting this, but your friends are, and now your environment is radiating that positive environment, that positive vibration, frankly, that positive vibration and energy. And so, right, when you begin to do this and you sculpt it and create your life and design it this way, that's going to carry over into all those other realms, right? To go back to that original point of thinking and feeling and being like children, using your imagination. And that will not only help you feel better and reconnect to this sense of vitality and love for life, but it also, right, the crossover benefits are going to be imagination, increased wonder, increased curiosity, right? And when we talk about things like innovation, or if you're in, marketing or business or whatever, like those are direct carryovers and things that can directly influence and improve your business in a positive way and your life in a positive way. Not just, oh, I'm spending time, doing origami, right? And if you love origami, do origami by all means. And so once you reconnected with that, continue to ignite it and continue to fan that flame, and you'll find, frankly, that just like you remember in the beginning, your life can have that sense of wonder and joy and, once again, renewed vitality. And that's really sometimes all it takes. Go do that work, go do that journal, and do some of those activities. It doesn't have to spend all your time. You can still be a focused, disciplined, grinding killer, right, in all these areas. But play. Just generally playing in life and doing these things is extremely important and is overall going to deeply affect you and in a positive way in terms of overall fulfillment and life enjoyment. So, get out there and just play.